In 1989, across the entire territory of the Soviet Union, strange phenomena are recorded in the sky, specifically over Georgia, Lithuania, Latvia, Armenia, and Dagestan. Also over Moscow's sky, in particular above the Izmailovo district. Soon after these events, the dissolution of the Soviet Union begins. The question arises, could these phenomena have been announcing that the Soviet Union would soon collapse? You are about to hear a unique story. You will get acquainted with official KGB documents and learn who Zelimkhan Muradov is, the man who was wanted throughout the entire Soviet Union. At the end of November 1989 in Georgia, specifically in Tbilisi, at night, the mountains were illuminated by a very powerful light. Almost the entire city witnessed it. The light completely lit up the night sky, and you are now seeing a photograph of that glow. Yet nobody understood what had happened. The next day at 3 p.m. in the city, a strange spherical object appeared in the sky. Sometimes it moved at a low speed, sometimes at incredible speed. Thousands of people witnessed it, and you are now seeing footage of that spherical object. It hovered over Tbilisi's sky for 2 hours. According to eyewitnesses, the spherical object could accelerate to very high speed in an instant. From the city center to the suburbs, it would traverse in just a couple of seconds. A plane took off from the airbase to record the object up close, but the pilot said that whenever he tried to approach it, the object immediately outpaced the plane at tremendous speed. Now, let us move to Armenia. Similar phenomena were recorded in Armenia, specifically in Spitak, which had 90% destruction from the 1988 earthquake, the horrible tragedy in Armenia's history. The city locals, workers, and military personnel clearing the city of debris saw triangular-shaped unidentified flying objects in the sky. According to the KGB document, namely the reports, the workers observed triangular-shaped unidentified flying objects for 2 days, and the military even filmed these objects. Also in Latvia, similar objects were recorded. Likewise in Moscow, in the Izmailovo district, unidentified flying objects were seen. Almost the entire Izmailovo district were eyewitness. During this period, the electricity in the entire district went out. There was an explosion at the cement factory, followed by a second explosion at the warehouse storing gunpowder. The whole district was in shock. People came outside terrified and did not know what to do. The entire district was in panic. Police and KGB representatives soon appeared on the scene. The district was in complete chaos. This information quickly reached Vladimir Khrushchev. Khrushchev was at that time head of the KGB. He ordered that the entire Izmailovo district be sealed off and forbade television crews from entering. As you know, at that time, popular protests against the Soviet government had already ignited among the people, and large-scale demonstrations against the Soviet regime were occurring in many places. Even more interesting events await you. Right now on the screen, you are seeing Zelimkhan Muradov, a native of Dagestan, born in 1955. This man managed to film an unidentified flying object on his 8mm camera near his village when he was returning home. Zelimkhan was an amateur photographer, and he was also an arm wrestling coach in Makhachkala, training children. When he was returning to his village, which is located 2 kilometers from Makhachkala, he noticed a yellow glow in the sky. As we read in the interrogation protocol, at first he did not understand what it was.
I saw a yellow glow up in the sky which suddenly disappeared. When I walked 50 meters, that glow reappeared and began to descend. I was a little frightened, but curiosity overwhelmed me. I always carried a camera with me, and also my 8mm camcorder, which I used to film arm wrestling practices in Makhachkala. When the object began to approach, I grabbed my 8mm camcorder, quickly changed the lens, and started filming. This flying object moved quickly and hid behind laurel trees and then disappeared from view.
I remind you, this is the text from Zelimkhan Muradov's interrogation report. According to Muradov, he headed toward where the object landed. 10 minutes later, he saw the object already in the valley, sitting on the ground next to a small river. Zelimkhan lay down on the ground and crawled toward some bushes. He saw that the object's top was raised while the bottom part was lowered. According to him, the object was about 25 meters long and up to 5 meters high. Zelimkhan lay silently on the ground, waiting to see what would happen. A few minutes later, he saw 3 figures who looked like pilots. They approached this unidentified flying object, stood at it for 2 minutes, and spoke in a language unfamiliar to Zelimkhan. Then they stood at the ship's center, where there was a disc-like metal hatch, which quickly rose up and joined the object's upper part. In a few seconds, that object rose up silently and sped toward the sky until it disappeared into the clouds. Zelimkhan quickly got up and ran toward the village. First, he met his uncle on the road and told him what happened. His uncle considered it a silly joke. Zelimkhan told him that he had filmed the object on his camera and would reveal that film the next day. His uncle still did not believe him. The next day, Zelimkhan got up in the morning and went to Makhachkala to develop the film at the studio where his friend Ruslan Ulambekov worked. Zelimkhan told Ruslan everything, and they watched the recorded material together. Zelimkhan, without thinking, decided to show this footage to his students in the gym where he held practices. 20 people watched this footage, including the gym's cleaner, Fatima Boeva. Fatima told her sister, who told her friends, and this news spread like lightning. In just a couple of days, there was a knock on Zelimkhan's door. He looked out the window and saw 2 police officers at his door, and 2 more police officers standing at his yard gate. From Zelimkhan's interrogation report,
When I saw police at my door, I became frightened because my friend and I had stolen a horse from the neighboring village, and I thought the police had come because of that. I had no idea it was because of the UFO footage. I suddenly went into my room, grabbed my bag, went to the kitchen, put a bottle of water and some cheese into the bag, climbed quietly out the back room window, and ran away.
Zelimkhan hid in the forest for 24 hours, then quietly returned to the village and went to his childhood friend to ask if he had heard anything about why the police came to him. His friend told him that the police had questioned his mother, uncle, and cousins. They completely searched his house, turned it upside down, and were looking for his camera. Zelimkhan's friend told him that a manhunt had been declared for him. Only after that did Zelimkhan realize that the police were after him because of this film. His friend advised him to surrender to the police. However, Zelimkhan was quite frightened and did not know what to expect. He decided to hide. He went into the forest and hid there until March 5th. According to Zelimkhan, it was a very difficult period for him, and eventually he decided to surrender to the police himself. Zelimkhan went to Makhachkala and personally surrendered to the police. As he later learned, a manhunt had been declared for him across the entire Soviet Union. Zelimkhan was taken to Moscow, where Orekhov awaited him for interrogation. As my subscribers know, Orekhov was a high-ranking KGB official tasked with investigating unexplained phenomena, and also headed the KGB's secret service that investigated such unexplained cases. He personally interrogated Zelimkhan. Zelimkhan told Orekhov everything. He said he had seen the strange object in the valley and also saw 3 persons resembling pilots. I forgot to mention Zelimkhan brought that footage to the police when he surrendered, along with 3 photographs. Orekhov told Zelimkhan that he would spend 5 months in prison and then would be released. This was to prevent people from asking too many questions, and when he was freed, he would be given another version of why he had been arrested. Zelimkhan had no choice and agreed to Orekhov's proposal. Also, in Makhachkala, the arm wrestling gym was closed and everyone was strictly warned not to speak about these events with anyone. 5 months later, Zelimkhan was released and returned to his village. In the village, the rumor spread that he had been arrested for horse theft. He had no right to speak the truth about why he had been detained. At the end of 1991, after the dissolution of the Soviet Union, Zelimkhan disappeared without a trace. A month-long search was conducted, but no trace of him was found. Also in 1989, in the Georgian capital, Tbilisi, a person named Guram Grdzelishvili disappeared. You are now seeing this person on screen. Gvelishvili claimed he saw exactly the same object that Zelimkhan saw in Dagestan. Grdzelishvili insisted that he was abducted not by aliens, but by humans when he was going to work in the morning. The story is quite long, and I will make a separate long video about it.
An absolutely incredible story that happened to Guram Grdzelishvili. It is a contact with some civilization that included simple communication as well as operations through which many of Guram's chronic ailments disappeared.
But briefly, I will now tell you about this incident. The story spread throughout the entire Soviet Union. This person disappeared without a trace for 3 days. He was searched for by both the police and his relatives. He drove his car to work in the morning, at which point a woman standing on the road waved at him and asked him to drive her to the city center. When this woman got into his car, she covered Guram's eyes with her hands, at which point Guram Gurdzalishvili lost consciousness and awoke near a forest by the roadside. His car was parked there and would not start. Upon regaining consciousness, his shoulders hurt. I will not now recount exactly what happened because, as I mentioned earlier, I plan to make a long publication about this incredible story. However, I will tell you one thing. When he regained consciousness, he returned home, and the next day he was abducted again from the metro when he was trying to go to work. The same woman met him in the metro that she had the day before. After this, the main story of Guram Gurdzalishvili begins, which starts with him waking up in the cabin of an unknown flying object. Guram was a chronic patient who was completely healed, and doctors could not find an explanation for this. Please click the like button and share the video. This will help promote the channel.